Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying the Lansdale Partridge. It's French partridge mayfly pattern, very much in the sort of straddle bug style. A good fly by all accounts. I mean, I've caught fish on them. I've even caught fish on them here in Japan later in the year when we get a kind of brown mayfly. But work in Ireland, work in Scotland, I'm sure they'll work other places. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody that wants to support the channel. Get access to the members only content, the online fly tying classes, as well as entering into the giveaways for the flies tied on the channel. Alternatively, like the video, share the video, watch all the way to the end, subscribe and hit the bell button. That all helps the channel. So I've got my hook and my vise. I'm tying this on a Kamasan B175 size 8. The original pattern I saw for this was a B830 size 10, which is a long, so 2x long, so it's the same shank length as this, but you've got the gape of a 10 as well. I think you're better just going up the hook size. You'll catch salmon in this fly in the lochs as well, and it's good having a stronger hook with a bit more gape as well for the bigger fish. I've run on some Uni 80 in brown, or dark brown, sorry, and then I'm going to tie in my tail, which is pheasant tail fibres, and I'm going to take, say, about half a dozen. And I want them about a hook and a half off the back. I'm going to tie them so they kind of curve up a wee bit, but that disappears as you fish the fly actually. They'll lose that sort of upward curve. And then just tidy that up. And I'll tie in my rib on the way back down, which is a sort of copper wire. In the pattern that I originally saw for this, which was in Peter O'Reilly's book, there's no rib listed, but the picture in the book had a rib, and it looks like it's copper. And that's, I mean, if it's no, then this is, I suppose, technically a variant. But it's all one, this does work. So the body's brown wool, cut off a length. Now this is a 4-ply, so I'm going to take 2 away. Keep them for the next fly, if I could get them. Just need to open up a bit. So just draw them out. And they'll just come away, set them aside. Now, I'm not a huge fan of wool-bodied flies. I think dubbing generally gives you a nicer taper, and also gives you a more sort of translucent effect in the body. But to help the taper, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take my thumbnail and just sort of strip out a small amount of the wool. That gives me a nice sort of taper to tie in, and it also means when I cord it back up, it's slightly narrower. So just catch this at the back. That looks good. And then I'll just come up the body. And I'll stop. And I'm going to leave myself plenty of space. I've got about 4mm here for the hackles and the head. So just get that started right at the tail. And you should be able to see as this goes, you'll get a slight taper because of the wool being tapered essentially. Now I do think this fly would probably catch you more fish if you shredded that, or you used it and dubbed it, or used a brown seal fur. But I'm just showing you the original pattern. Tie that off and trim away the waste. Now come up the body. I'll have 5 turns of rib on the body. Nice and even. Don't like that. Just go back a bit. There we go. And tie off at the front. And just bend and break the wire, don't cut it. Hackle, I'm using a ginger cock. Low grade, like a Chinese, something that'll be a bit webby, and I want a decent length of hackle. You know, so that the fibres kind of marry into the French partridge and give it a bit of support. So strip away the fluff. I'm going to leave some of the sort of henny fibres at the bottom, because that's all movement. We'll come in, tie this in. It's a good strong stem, so I'll cut it. And then I'll just wind this hackle. I'll just fold it as I wind it. And get the turns, one turn in front of the other. And how heavily do you want to hackle this? It's up to yourself. It'll obviously depend on the quality of the hackle. Some hackles are sort of thinner than others and whatever, but I like a decent amount, as I say, to offer some support to the French partridge, to help the French partridge sort of open and move, and also just to sort of move a wee bit of water. So that's not bad there. I don't know, that's maybe 5 turns of that. I just sort of used up everything that was worth using. Then fold back the tip and then break it away. I mean, this in and of itself, just to look, this is probably a decent fish catcher. The head hackle is French partridge, so I'll just take away all the rubbish at the bottom of the feather, and then I'll come in with my hackle pliers so that I can expose the tip. Some away the waist. Give myself a wee triangle just to tie in. So that's a nice and tight. And the same again, just use your fingers to double the hackle as you wind it. If you want to, you can run your scissor along first to sort of encourage it, but it'll probably wind fine. French partridge is a nice feather to work with. And then I'm just going to get this on. Probably use nearly all of the feather, I think. Maybe that's okay there. I mean, again, it's sort of what you like the look of. Fold the stem back. Just build your head. Nice tight wraps, nice and neat. Snap that away. And then it's just a case of whip finishing and varnishing. I mean, a couple of coats of varnish. One's enough for a fishing fly, but 2 or 3 will make it nice and shiny. Just get that on. There you go. That's the Lansdale Partridge. It's an easy enough fly to tie, but I mean, it's got everything that you want. It's got plenty of movement, it's got the nice colour, the contrast with the French partridge there, a nice profile and shape. I mean, this might be your point fly if you're fishing the mayfly and there's brown drakes, or even if there's no. But tie some up. So, tight lines, guys. Bye.